Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking with Kat. Today we're making brownies. This recipe is very special to me. It came from my friend Hannah and her mum, and I've been cooking this since I was in primary school. So to start off with, we'll preheat the oven to 180 degrees and then we'll get into the cooking. So to start with, we've got 200 grams of butter, half a cup of cocoa powder, 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 cup of plain flour, 2 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. So to begin with, we'll pop the 200 grams of butter into a saucepan and let that melt on the stove. And to that, we'll sift through the half a cup of cocoa powder. So sift that through, get all the lumps out, pop that back on. And I'm going to whisk that one through. So next we'll add the 2 cups of brown sugar and whisk that through and wait for it to cook until the sugar starts dissolving. Alright, so now we've got our butter sugar mix. We're next going to sift the flour. This is 1 cup of plain flour. Just get rid of all those lumps again. If your butter starts to separate, once you add your flour and your egg, it all comes together. So don't stress if the butter goes weird. Sift that through. And the key with the egg is to mix it really fast, or just a little bit at a time, and pop the egg yolks so they mix easier, or else you will end up with chunky little white bits of cooked egg in your brownie batter, which is not nice, taste-wise or consistency-wise. So we're giving that a good mix through. There we go. So the consistency is starting to change. So I popped the yolks. And as I said, the key is to mix it really fast. Bit of muscle action here. So the egg's going to start cooking with the hot batter. You could also let it cool down for 5 minutes, but I can never wait that long. Alright, and the second egg. Mixing that through, then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And you can add anything to these brownies. Sometimes I've added squares of caramello chocolate, or you could add M&Ms or chocolate chips or nuts as well. I quite like walnuts in it, or they're delicious plain as they are. And they're also really good kept in the fridge. They're very gooey in consistency and very dense when they're in the fridge. And then sometimes you can also heat them up in the microwave and they go back to freshly cooked brownie batter. They're delicious. Alright, so that's all mixed through. You can see now it's gone from being a bit separated and lumpy to being nice and smooth and glossy. So we'll add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. And mix that through, and then in the oven for, I think it's 10 to 15, I would check it at 10 minutes depending on your oven, and then it might need a little bit, 5 minutes more maybe. Alright, so I've just popped some baking paper on my tray so it doesn't stick, and I find spraying it with a little bit of olive oil, get a bit of butter and just do a stripe down the middle, and that just helps the baking paper to stay on the baking tray when you pour it in so it doesn't slip and slide around. There we go, and then I just smooth it out and pop it in the oven for about 10 to 15. Alright, and the oven went through. That's that. So the brownie's been cooking for about 15 minutes, so I'm going to check it with a fork to check it's cooked properly. Yep, so that's pretty good. You want it to have a little bit left on the fork so you know it's just gooey enough. About 15 minutes and that works really well, but you don't want it obviously dripping with brownie mix or nothing on it at all because then it might be too dry and floury. So the brownies have come out of the oven now and cooled down to room temperature. I've cut them up and just dusted with a bit of icing sugar. I'll show you the consistency of the brownie. So when you break it open, nice and gooey, that will go nice and dense in the fridge and they're so yummy. Hope you've enjoyed my brownie recipe and I hope you give it a go.